Hi, this is Aubrey Sumblon from BSEC 3B, and for this video, I will be presenting my performance task number 1 for ECE 23 Communications 2, discussing about metadata and its importance in our daily life. So, at the end of this presentation, we must be able to define metadata and determine the different types, analyze the importance of metadata, define, determine, and validate the IMEI of any mobile phone, and define and calculate a UPC check digit. So, what is metadata? Metadata is the data that provides information about other data. It represents the behind-the-scenes information that's used everywhere by every industry in multiple ways. In transmitting or representing a digital information, it's a redundant instruction added to serve as a detection code. It also provides a structured reference that helps to sort out and identify information it describes. So the different types of metadata include descriptive, structural, administrative, with the subtypes of rights or legal metadata, preservation, and technical metadata. Now, some examples of metadata include catalog records, search logs, authentication and security data, technical utilization information, rights and reproduction tracking, ISBN, IMEI, and VPC. Now, importance of metadata. Considering metadata is not the actual information, it can normally be made public because it doesn't give anyone access to the raw data. It also allows the communication system to be reliable by minimizing errors and discrepancies. It also allows an easier access to relevant data and allows the system to know everything they need to know about the document and provide pointers to datasets even without actual data. Since metadata is a short representation of the larger data, this information can be searched through and filtered to find information about millions of users at once and track things like, for example, hate speech, threats for social medias, and other information that is now being used by the government and other agencies. Now, by Mike Chopler, in his article, What is Metadata? He says, think of metadata as a card file in our childhood library that contains information about a book. Metadata is the book itself. You can learn a lot about a book by examining its card file, but you have to open the book to read it. Moving on, we have IMEI. IMEI stands for International Mobile Equipment Identity, which is a unique number for identifying a device on a mobile network. It is also a number that reveals other details about the phone, including the brand and model, year of release, and specifications. You can actually think of it as your phone's social security number, and it comes in handy, especially when you're buying a used phone, since you can check whether the phone you're interested in has been reported lost, is denied listed, or was subject to insurance claim, and many more. So what are the different ways to determine the IMEI of a mobile phone? First, we can dial asterisk number sign 06, number sign in your phone's dial pad to get the IMEI number. Or for physical checking, for phones with removable battery, we can check the sticker under the battery on the back of the phone, since most of it have the IMEI numbers. Or for sealed phones such as iOS phones or Apple phones, the mobile number or serial number and IMEI are printed on the back of your device. So if the physical checking cannot be applied to your device, you can also check it by finding or navigating through the settings. Now, we need first to go to the settings, tap the About Phone or tap the General Settings, then About Phone, and then it will show you the details about your phone such as the IMEI number, the model number, and serial number. So how about if the phone is not available? That would be fine as well. Most of the IMEI number and serial numbers are printed on the sticker and the outbox of your phone, so you can check the outbox. It would normally be on the back part, on the lower part, or on the side parts of the outbox. So you need to remember to write down your IMEI number, since it will come in handy, especially if your phone gets stolen or is lost. You can have your phone be tracked down for iOS phones on your service centers, or have it locked out, or have it locked for the person who sold your phone not to use it anymore. Now, how to validate an IMEI number? We can use the Lons algorithm for validating an IMEI number, and Lons algorithm is also called the Mod10 algorithm, which is a simple checksum formula used for validating a variety of identification numbers such as the IMEI number, UPC that we will be tackling later on, and other credit card numbers. Now, let's have an example. We have the IMEI number, and using the Lons algorithm, we need first to start with the rightmost side and double every second number. We have the table here. As you can see, if the doubled second number would result in a three-digit number, add the digits together. For example, we have here 5 times 2 is equal to 1. That's because the original result should be 10, but 1 plus 0 is equal to 1. Another example is 8 times 2 is equal to 7. That's because the original answer is 16, but 1 plus 6 is equal to 7. We have a single-digit result. Now, taking the sum of all the results, we have 60, and since 60 is divisible by 10, IMEA number is valid and working. Another way to validate an IMEA number is using a check digit. First, let's have the same example. So taking the last digit of the IMEA number, we have the 4. We need to double each second digit excluding the validation number. So unlike the first process, we don't need to add up the 2-digit results anymore, since we need to separate the products into single digits and add up all the numbers. So we have now the result of 56, and then rounding that up to the nearest multiple of 10, we will have 60. Subtracting it to the 56, we have 4. So therefore, as you can see, our check digit or the calculated check digit is the same with the original check digit. Therefore, our IMEA number is valid and working. Moving on, we have now UPC, which stands for Universal Product Code. It is a unique 12 or 13-digit number assigned to retail merchandise that identifies both the product and the vendor that sells the product. So for 13-digit numbers, that is actually called EAN13, which is the superset of the original UPC 12-digit barcode. It is what's mostly being used, especially here in the Philippines, the 13-digit barcode. So the only difference between the UPC and the 13-digit barcode is that the UPC's region is within USA in Canada, while for the 13-digit number, it's with worldwide. Now, when a UPC barcode is scanned, the scanner identifies the sequence of numbers and reports the product information. It does not care prices and just simply identifies the product. It also doesn't identify product countries or regions. So the product can be manufactured anywhere around the globe, but the country would always be in Ohio, and that would be what the country prefixes will provide. Now, for the UPC barcode anatomy, we have here for UPC codes, which is a 12-digit numbers. There are no letters and other characters within the UPC code. The first 6 digit is the manufacturer identification. The next 5 digit is the item reference number, and the last digit is what we call the check digit, which is a metadata. Now, for 13-digit numbers or the EAN13, we have the first 2 numbers for the country code, the next 5 digits for the manufacturer code, the next 5 digits for product item code, and the last digit still the check digit. Now, to validate or calculate the check digit, we will still need to use the launch algorithm. So let's have an example from one of our household products that uses the UPC or the 12-digit barcode. Now we have 0714095433375 with a check digit of 5. So from the rightmost side, multiply each second digit with 3, excluding the last digit. We have here the table, and add up all the result and round up the result to the nearest multiple of 10. So that will give us 75. So rounded that up, we will have 80 minus 75, and now the result would be the check digit. So notice that our calculated check digit and the original check digit is correct. Therefore, our calculations for the check digit is correct, and the check digit is valid and working. Now for the summary, we have discussed about metadata, which is the data that provides information about other data, and its different types are descriptive, structural, and administrative. So also importance of metadata. Metadata represents behind-the-scenes information that's used everywhere by every industry in multiple ways. It's extensive in information systems, most social media websites, software, music services, and online retailing. We'll also discuss about IMEI, which is the International Mobile Equipment Identity, which is a unique number for identifying a device on a mobile network. We also discuss UPC, which is the Universal Product Code, a unique 12 or 13 digits for EAN13 number assigned to retail merchandise that identifies both the product and the vendor that sells the product. So note that long algorithm can be used to validate identification numbers such as IMEI, UPC, and some credit card numbers. So that ends my presentation. This slideshow was created by SciScout. Thank you for watching.